Welcome to Food and Philosophy episode number 20, The Prophet. But first, I got more items from Taco Bell. I got their crispy chicken empanada thingy. And the double cheesy decker taco. Empanada comes with a spicy ranch thing. Let me check what it actually is. Spicy ranch dip. So it's a crispy chicken nada. Spicy ranch dip and a double stack taco. I always go with on the side. So crispy chicken nada. It reminds me of the McDonald's crust for the old pies. I wish they did that again. This thing is pretty freaking good. It's fried in this chicken and I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 3. Like I'd for sure eat it again. I don't know if I'd order it every single time, but I'd definitely eat that again. And the double, the cheesy dip. Falls apart. Oh, it's got crispy chips in there. There's a 3 out of 3. I mean, for fast food, obviously. It's a 3 out of 3. I would order this every time I go to Taco Bell as long as they have it. I know I told you guys that last time, so I backed it up by ordering it a second time. All right. I'll point out I ordered one sauce. I want to see what was going to happen. They actually sent me one sauce. So yay to this place. Only put in one. I feel like I'm just going to eat the whole episode. Which is fine by me. Mix it up the other way. So now to the Twitter talk. And I think this is a public service announcement. Turn it off from your For You feed on Twitter and only look at the posts like your following feed, because there's trigger warnings everywhere. What's up, Maddie Lynch? What's up, Vanilla Rice? How you doing? So, warning, trigger warning. Not really trigger warning. I saw on my For You page, like I said, I'm switching now to only following. But somebody was visiting their father, I think, in the ICU, and it was demanded that they put on a mask. And said they were like, no, I'm not going to wear a mask. And I don't care where you stand on masks, where you're going to wear them or you're not wearing them. Personally, I don't wear them. But this person said they didn't go in and put on the mask and see their father, who's in the hospital dying from the post, it says, because they didn't want to wear a mask because they're anti-mask. Look, that's probably not the hill to let your father die on, is to not wear a mask to go see him. So I think it was bullcrap, and they said that they didn't go and wear a mask, but they did. Now, the reason why I bring it up is I have a sick family member, really sick. Maybe by the time you even watch this, he's even worse condition. And I went to the ICU and they said you needed to wear a mask. And I immediately went to this post in my mind. This was last week. This post in my mind, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna wear a mask to go see my uncle. Of course I'm gonna freaking wear a mask. Even though I don't wear masks, and I thought it was stupid to wear masks back then. Doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put on a mask. Why? Because I want to see my uncle more than I believe in my mask stance. That's why. So that person, like, what are the things? And maybe masks is a poor thing because now that's not really relevant, I guess, outside of the ICU. But what's something right now that you put your foot down? Like, what's a rule that you're for or against that you put your foot down for, or you put your foot down against that you don't relent on to your own detriment? Like in this instance where this person didn't want to wear a mask and then I guess they didn't see their father, which like I said is probably bullcrap. They probably said they didn't, but actually relented and put it on and went to go see their father. But what's something like that where you are like, I'm not doing it, and then but it's to your detriment. Like the only person that loses is you. That's my Twitter talk for today. Back to our regularly scheduled programming of the Prophet. Last we left off was freedom. Speaking of masks, freedom. And an orator said, "Speak to us of freedom." And he answered, "At the city gate and by your fireside, I have seen you prostrate yourself and worship your own freedom, even as slaves humble themselves before a tyrant and praise him though he slays them. I, in the grove of the temple and in the shadow of the citadel, I have seen the freest among you wear their freedom as a yoke and a handcuff, and my heart bled within me, for you can only be free when even the desire of seeking freedom becomes a harness to you, and when you cease to speak of freedom as a goal and a fulfillment. You shall be freed indeed when your days are not without a care, nor your nights without a want and a grief, but rather when these things girdle your life, and yet you rise above them naked and unbound. And how shall you rise your days and nights beyond them unless you break the chains which you at the dawn of your understanding have fastened around your noon hour? In truth, that which you call freedom is the strongest of these claims, of these chains. In truth, that which you call freedom is the strongest of these chains, though its links glitter in the sun and it dazzles your eyes. And what is it but fragments of your own self you would discard that you may become free? If it is an unjust law you would abolish, that law was written with your own hand and upon your own forehead. You cannot erase it by burning your law books, nor by washing the foreheads of your judges, though you pour the sea upon them. And if it is a despot you would dethrone, see first that his throne erected within you is destroyed. For how can a tyrant rule the free and the proud, but for a tyranny in their own freedom and a shame in their own pride? And if it is a care you would cast off, that care has been chosen by you rather than imposed upon you. And if it is a fear you would dispel, the seat of that fear is in your heart and not in the hand of the feared. Verily, all things move within your being in constant half embrace, the desired and the dreaded, the repugnant and the cherished, the pursued and that which you would escape. These things move within you as lights and shadows in pairs that cling. And when the shadow fades and is no more, the light that lingers becomes a shadow to another light. And thus, your freedom, when it loses its fetters, becomes itself the fetter of a greater freedom. Speak to us of freedom. Like with most things in life, freedom is only a priority to those who do not believe that they have it. If you're already free or you have liberty in your life right now, you don't go around worrying about not having freedom because you know you control it. Liberty is always better than freedom, having liberty in that, because in liberty, you move towards anything that you want to move towards can be yours with liberty. It doesn't matter who the president is or who the governor is or what laws get passed or what's going on in the world. You, if you have liberty, if you have true liberty, you can just keep moving towards what it is that you want. And it doesn't matter if you have freedom or not, you will create your own freedom. It won't even be relevant to you if you're not free because you would be free. It's not even a question. But say you believe that your liberties are in jeopardy. Say you're like, oh, this is happening and this is happening. Well, that then means that you never had liberty to begin with within yourself, like within your own mind, your projection on yourself. Because true possessors of liberty will do as they wish, no matter who it is that rules over them or what it is that rules over them, including Mother Nature. It's not just limited to not just limited to humans. Like acts of God, something happens, you get in a car accident, somebody gets sick, this shows up, pandemic happens. True possessors of liberty are still going to be free within that context. It's not of any consequence who or what imposes a rule or restriction if one has true liberty. It literally doesn't matter what is going on in life. It cannot stifle you unless you relinquish the power to it to stifle you. In your life, where is what you would like? The question, what you would like, ruling your life versus what's going on. If you changed the ruler of your life from the president or the governor or Mother Nature or the laws of the country that you're in, if you relinquish those rights to rule over you and only have the only ruler of you be what would you like? What would I like? The question, what would I like? And filter your life through that, you'll find that it's not of any consequence what's going on in the world. You'll always be able to find a way around whatever it is that's happening and whenever it is that it's happening to you. So think through the terms of my goals, your goals, my wants, your wants, my needs, your needs. If it's my goals, my wants, my needs, you, or me in this example, if that's all your filter, then somebody can sap your needs, can sap your wants, and sap your goals. So in that instance, something happens, and what would I like? I would like, and fill in the blank what it is, and then keep moving towards that. I joke, if they passed the law that said sandwiches were illegal, I would just make pizza or ice cream or donuts or something. I would do something else. I wouldn't go, oh, well, there I am. I'm going to be homeless now. No. What would you like? Move towards that. And you will always have liberty. So, in all of the above scenarios where it's about your wants, your needs, your goals, nothing else, your mask stance, your fill in the blank, whatever it is, how come it is okay for you to fight that in your mind? Ask yourself, how come it's okay for you to fight that? Like, why is that fight okay for you versus other fights that you don't make or that you don't care about or don't even register for you? And then also regarding all that stuff, how come it's not okay for you to have that? In the case of this person on Twitter that said they didn't wear the mask, why was it not okay for them to wear a mask to go see their father that was dying allegedly? I said, I think the whole thing was fake. My opinion, that just doesn't even sound reasonable of this person not wear a mask to go see their father, even if you hate wearing masks, even if they hate wearing masks. Unless they were gonna die from putting on the mask, there's no reason for them not to wear that. Just from a reasonable standpoint, whatever your stance on masks are. But for some reason, for that person, it was not okay for them to wear a mask. So whatever that situation is for you when it comes up, why is it not okay for you to do that? We end up being complicit in our own prisons. We end up being complicit in making our own prisons through the laws that we have, the people that we vote for, the people that we don't vote for, the things that we stand and allow for, whether that's for the greater good or for your specific niche of what it is that you find important. And anywhere in between those two things. Oh, it'll help a lot of people. It'll help a little bit of people. In our child self, that person, the childlikeness in us, making meanings must begin movement of your evolution. So that young one in you, so this person didn't want to wear a mask. It's 2024. Understandable they don't want to wear a mask. But that child in them that was putting up the tantrum and like, I'm not going to do it because that wasn't from a however old they are person. That's not an adult making the decision. Adult goes, oh, I got to wear a mask. My dad's going to die. Nope, not going to do it. That's a kid making that decision, not an adult. It's coming from a space of a wound from a child. We all have this within us towards some things or a lot of things, likely. It's more true. That childlike thing, the child one inside of us, needs to evolve and become healed for us to evolve. If you don't let your child heal, you're not going to evolve. You need to be in this space of nakedness of doesn't matter what the rules are. Doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who the governor is. It doesn't matter who your boss is. It doesn't matter who your parents are. Move towards what it is that you want. You will evolve slowly but surely. Our jailer either lives in our minds or we give the keys to someone on the outside. We allow other people to jail us. Only the ones that value freedom, that place a value on freedom, can have it taken away from them. Like if you don't register that you have freedom or that you don't have freedom, it's not going to be taken away from you. Doesn't matter what happens if they say, that's it, you need to wear a mask. If you didn't take that as you didn't have freedom, then you wouldn't have had your freedom taken away from you. If you weren't like, no, you can't violate my rights, then you wouldn't have your rights violated. Only those that despise authority will have it rule them. Einstein had the quote that it was his contempt of authority that made him become an authority. What's probably likely more true, and that's Einstein's own words, is that he didn't like authority and thus he just put authority in a different realm of existence and just didn't listen to authority. But he didn't actually like have energy against authority. Maybe he did when he was a younger person, but for sure as he moved through his life, he probably just stiff-armed authority instead of fought it. So where are you fighting authority right now in your life? Is it at work, in your family, in the government, like literally, or with others on Twitter and stupid discussions? Why do you think that you do not have authority right now? Why do you think that you don't have freedom right now? Why do you not think that you have liberty right now? Why not? The answers to those questions are actually your jailer, are actually the one that's limiting you, the one that's actually putting laws and rules over you. Whatever the answers to those questions are. It's not some law that Congress made, even though they literally are making laws, or the House of Representatives or the president signs an executive order, or your governor says minimum wage is going to be $20 an hour. Those things are not limiting you, although you might not like a lot of those things. And sometimes you might like a lot of those things. Those things aren't giving you freedom, nor are they taking your freedom away. It's your answers to how are you not free right now? Your answer only in regards to your opinion does that matter. How are you not having liberty right now? And how are you not an authority right now? Those answers, according to you, is your jailer. If you want to discreate the experience of not being free or not having liberty or not being an authority, release all your need for freedom, release all of your need for autonomy, like being, I need to do it this way. You already are free. You already have authority. You already are authority. You already have liberty. You already have autonomy. So there's no need to prove it to yourself internally. You don't have to prove it to us either. Like no one can harm or help you without your permission. That's true. So it's wiser to ask, why is it that you give away your fear or your place or your hopes or even look for a knight in shining armor? Why do you place your fear into other people, other rulers, other authorities in your life? Why do you give them your hopes too? Like, oh, with this president, this is going to happen, or this governor, or this boss. Or why do you do that? Why do you give it away? You're the one with the authority and the autonomy and the freedom and the liberty. So ask yourself now, why are you doing it? And for each area of your life, if you do it at home, or if you do it at work, or you do it in politics, ask yourself how you'll find greater light. How will you do it if you place it in other people? How will you personally find it? Because they're going to give it to you. Instead, if you want greater power, if you want greater knowing, if you want greater authority, if you want greater freedoms, if you want greater liberty in your own life, find this light within yourself. You'll also find this love within yourself because you'll be loving yourself too and putting yourself up there this way only by asking yourself, why are you placing it on other folks? And until you're able to balance everything out in your own life from a freedom standpoint, from lack of liberty or lack of authority or autonomy, until you're able to balance it out and see that you actually are the one. Because even if you think that you're not, you only think that you're not because you're the one thinking that you're not. So even in that instance, even you might be right, the president might say something, or the governor might say something, or your boss might say something. It's not relevant. You can watch this 25 years from now, and 25 years ago, it's going to still be true right now. Even if all that was true, you're the one that decided that you were limited. Because how do you know? Because other people are not being limited by that thing. The hidden pairs of the complementary opposites that are happening in your life, as Dr. DeMartini would say, they will balance everything else out for you if you don't do it yourself. So you'd rather balance yourself out, or you have to get balanced out from what you would call outside forces, or someone else. Like the president will pass a law and you'll be pissed off, or your governor will, or your boss will say, I need you to do this, or your spouse will, or your parents will. Because that's how nature works. Second law of thermodynamics. Nothing's ever created, nothing's ever lost. So you cannot ever gain and you cannot ever lose. So knock it off and speak to us of freedom. That's it for today. I'm gonna probably smash the rest of my. I'm almost done. Crispy chicken nada, a taco. It doesn't matter when it's only a matter of time. Your well being is your greatest contribution to humanity. No exceptions ever.